like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
I mean, it's exciting to me, you know, and it can be frustrating because, like, I'll try to explain to my friends, and they're like, oh, well, you work out all the time, you're a trainer, you know, you get to work it off, and I'm like, I could tell you right now, I started doing this when I was 17 or 45, that's a long time. I was a dancer my whole life, and I was naturally petite, I never had a weight issue, but in the normal progression of life, I had put on that extra 10, which on a girl my size, 5'2", it was a lot, it was bloat, it was in my face, it was in, you know, my arms were very puffy, and I just remember buying again into that myth that in your 40s you start to put on weight, you know, you had children. It's not true. It's all
the concept.
Because what would we do without some excuses every day, right? That was like in a movie once, I think, and it said like we rationalize. Oh, I want to start on New Year's. I'm like, New Year's? Start this second. I don't care if you woke up this morning eating devil dogs. Have a Rockin Wellness. Have a Rockin Wellness shake.
That whole idea is about, it's like cleansing. It's like I'm gonna, for 1 second, I'm gonna do something right today, and it's not right. And then
I'm not even allowing them to call it cleanses. When they say, "Oh, is Rockin Wellness a cleanse?" and I'm like, no. Cleanse yourself. Go in the shower. Your liver, your organs, if you're healthy, should function pretty good. But let's give them a jump start. Let's get them going better. So let's call it like a feast. Why can't this be feasting? Why does it have to be fasting? Is this fasting? Like
it's the highest nutritional content.
And like the calories, you know, I'm like, I add avocado to it, I add coconut meat to it. I can't gain weight. I'm not gaining weight. Your body recognizes it because this is the best thing about it. This is really how I feel about this. I try to explain it to people. If you eat food that was once alive, and then it was slaughtered. I'm not going to get into a whole vegan thing. I'm just going to keep the words very nice. And then you cook it again to try to bring flavor to it. That's awesome, right? Good for you. I support you if that's what you want to eat. I'm not anti. I'm not going to be, you know. But you are eating something that was once alive, right, that had life in it, that now has been no longer alive, and then you're reheating it. Okay. All right, so your body may know what to do with that. But when you take something like Rockin Wellness, or you take raw food, or you take, you know, all these things that grow, it's like, it's something that it still has life in it. This has life. So when your body recognizes life, what do you think your cells do? What are like the mitochondria getting so excited? It's like, here's more life. So what's going to rebuild your body? What's going to help you feel better as you're aging? Because this, you know, your body is, it's a little bit of a fight, right?
Yeah.
So we want to like keep it running really well.
Yeah, I have a concept when in the 1950s the soil had 50% nutrition, 100 years ago, right? So when they were born on nutrition. Our kids are born on nothing. I think statistically, if you took that trend from 2006 to now,
right,
it went from maybe 10% nutrition in our diet if you eat perfect,
yeah,
which we don't, and it's old.
Yeah.
So we're trending 0. So if you're born right now, you're born on technically 0.
Yeah.
And then 50 years ago, you're born on 50%.
Yeah, and that's always my biggest argument. But I've been better. I've been trying to be good at it. But like I'll talk to people and they'll say, you know, Felicia, you and your stuff, my grandparents ate this way, and my parents ate that way, and I grew up on this, and I'm just fine. So I say, okay, I'm sure you are. I'm not in your body, so I can't tell you how you feel. But don't compare us to our grandparents who moved to Long Island when it was just potato fields, and we would get, you know, milk delivered in a glass bottle with the, you know, little fat on the top. And I'm not, you know, saying that that gave them a better chance of living longer, but things have changed. It's not the same way. And bottom line is, we are all going to live here. We're not going to live forever. So I try to really make them understand in a real non-spiritual way. It's not about living longer necessarily. I mean, I could die, right? However, a lot of us, I think, walk around like thinking that it's normal to have these symptoms because of their age.
Stress, depression, anxiety,
yeah, they just feel like,
fat,
you know, like even my own husband, he's just turning the corner now to finally have his first shake. It took him 9 months of watching me, and he was very anti. Felicia, I'm 48 years old, I go to the gym, do the best I can, everybody hates their job, alright, I'm sorry if I'm a little moody. He thinks these things are normal because society tells us that it's normal, because then we go to our doctor and we get a pill for it, and then that causes other symptoms. So how about saying there's going to be certain illnesses that maybe do appear that we don't have a choice, but like, how about feeling great every day so that you're prepared spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically to combat that?
Yeah,
knocking wood, big time. Knocking wood, big time.
Yeah.
Because of my career, you know, teaching exercise, and I don't only teach yoga, I teach dance, and I'm running around, and I'm a little A-type, you could tell, right? I'm a little like, I like to do a lot of things. I used to get run down every month and get a cold, and there's a myth again. Oh, Felicia, you're always running around, that's why you get cold, that's why you get so many colds. I would get a cold every month right around my menstrual cycle. I guess my immunity would drop and I'd be very receptive to catching a virus, and I would get sick. I used to make a joke that it was like my once a month cold. In 9 months, I haven't had a cold. And what's beautiful is I still get tired. I still have days that I'm blue. I don't want to act like I'm this robot who's happy all the time. But all I need to do is like chill out, eat clean for like a day or two, really make sure I'm back on my Rockin Wellness legitimately, putting really good stuff into it, not just the water, sometimes I'll up the ante, you know.
I've always gone in weird cycles.
Yeah.
Even with this since it came out, weird cycles. But it's when I go to Whole Foods and I'm sampling and I get there at 7 in the morning and this person's walking by, I forgot what tired is.
Right.
I'm there loud, like attacking these people at 7 to 11 in the morning,
right.
And they're not even awake, and they're sipping on coffee.
Oh, I know. Well, that's part of it.
I think is our energies tend to be high. Like when I did my video, I'm already loud. I'm already loud. The second I start talking, I'm like, oh, I'm tired.
Right.
But there's a difference between having nutritional energy in your body at all times and being burnt out.
Yes.
My mentality is if you drink coffee and you feel good, or you think you feel good, or that's your morning boost.
Yeah.
If something this big that's acidic,
yeah,
with like no real good nutritional value,
yeah,
or horrible,
yeah,
depending on where you're getting your coffee from,
yeah,
if that's boosting you,
yeah,
then there's something wrong with you. Like
I know.
Like if something acidic is boosting you.
Well, I have to be honest that I drank a lot of coffee in the beginning, Mike. I wanted to tell you the truth.
I drank coffee a couple days ago.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I drank coffee because I guess I'm like thinking I'm like a know-it-all, you know. Like I felt like in the very beginning, I love my Starbucks, and I love the taste, I love the smell, I love it. That's my pleasure, and that's what we do. Again, another excuse. I'm going to still have it, and I'm going to have my Rockin Wellness, and but I have to say, I'm doing much better now. I will randomly, occasionally crave it and want it, and I pay the price.
I think once a week.
I pay the price. On those days, I'm definitely a little bit more wired because it's artificial. It's like a weird sort of high you get from it. Right? I mean, I don't know what caffeine does to you, but it's.
Well, it's not just caffeine. It's
the
acidity.
Oh, the acidity.
It's not like it's not necessarily the caffeine.
Okay.
Because if you were to take in 400 milligrams of caffeine, which someone would consider ridiculous to like calculate how much caffeine they consume a day, pretty much everyone does. Like if you were to take in that and it wasn't crazy acidic and your body was nutritional, I doubt it would matter.
Okay.
You know, you take someone with a muscle or nerve disease or something, or anxiety, and they're staying away from this much green tea. There's something wrong. Like in my opinion, the fatty acid, the brain, the nervous system, the immune response, the acidity, whatever's wrong. Like it's not the real stuff. So if someone's afraid of chocolate, this has almost this much chocolate, like 10% chocolate in it, and it's the good kind.
Right.
If you're red flagging chocolate, you eat donuts every night. If you're if you're red flagging caffeine, if you're afraid of 3 to 5 milligrams of caffeine a scoop, then you probably drank 4 espressos. You know that whole mentality.
I know people like they'll tell you
away from what they do.
You hear the story of this and you don't hear this. You know, it's like I hear from my clients, I've been really eating well, So I said, okay, then I want you to keep a food journal for just a few days. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't profess to be one at all. But I could look at somebody's nutritional with their eating and just give them a little advice, you know. But I never claim that I know what to do.
Bad or good?
I don't say bad or good, because those are bad words.
Ooh, I like that. All right.
Okay, nothing's bad. You know, it's why bad? That's again self-deprecating.
Yeah, it's too
and then
much.
what do you do? Then you know, just say, let's see where you're eating, what time of the day you're eating, what's triggering you to eat, how do you feel when you eat, how do you feel before, and how do you feel during and after, you know? Are you belching and feeling like, bleh? And that's a sign, maybe your body doesn't really want to eat that. You don't need to go to an allergist to know that you don't feel good.
I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw.